Welcome, one and all. Welcome, one and all. Well, welcome one, because at the moment, Bobby, you're the only one out there. But soon they'll be populating, and we'll get our regular crowd. I'm just working tonight on, and I'll repeat this once or twice. Oh, excuse me. It's a long day. Tonight. I'm working on on the usual the plan. I decided to make it a little bit more detailed because I want to, very, very specific, detailed uh, task list, if you will. So here it is, and so this is what I've been working on here, and well, it's here's the beginning of it. From the financing, it all starts with the financing. That's where I'm in the process right now, and then as soon as we do that, then pretty much I I got to get I got to make the plumbing plans and the HVAC plans, and I got to finish getting some more quotes on metal buildings. But short of that, then comes the wonderful part. I gotta the the septic has to go in, and then I got to start ordering stuff. I got to start ordering materials. I got to start ordering the metal building plans, because I'm going to need the metal building plans to supplement my plans to submit the permit. But that requires a deposit of like 20 grand. So I'm holding off on all of that. Then before the permit starts, I can clear remove the rotted stumps, the get rid of the branches and small trees or bushes that are around the area, and level the land. Uh, and the reason I don't do that now, and let's see who else is out there. Nobody else. There's a few people out there. So the reason I don't do that now, clear the stumps, the trees, and stuff, is because actually I don't have it in here. I can't believe I don't have it in here. Let me see if I can place it in here. As soon as I get the financing, insert one above. This is going to be fun. Let's see here. Purchase tractor. And that'll take a day. Oh, yeah, that's the prerequisite. That'll take copy, paste. Wait a second here. Start day 31. Oh, yeah, because after the financing, of course. And that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. And of course, that's fine. All right. Yeah, and I got to buy the tractor first. That's one of the things I got to do first. Anyway, so that's why I'm clearing that's why the stump here, rather the rotted stumps, the trees, and leveling the land. I can do those before. I have to do them after I get financing, because the tractor is going to be in one of in the plan, and I've got to do it before getting after I submit the permit, but before I receive the permit. Because now, once I receive the permit, now I can apply for my RV permit. Well, this says erect metal building, but this is actually going to be, in fact, I should move this down to about, who knows? It'll probably be around here, maybe even higher. Yeah, let's put that around there. Because let me see what I can do with this. Oh, joy, oh, joy, oh, joy. Okay, so these are based on this, these. Yeah, so, oh, no, that's not going to be. Yeah. I am, let's see what we got here. Good evening, Chris. How's it going? Do I have a lot of entries for the big giveaway? You know what? I haven't looked. I really haven't looked. Let me take a quick glance while I'm here. And, um, let's see. Sign out of this account. Use another account. Goodness gracious. Okay, so what did I call this? Javi Unboxed. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. It's making me do a verification thing just to get on here, but that's not going to be a problem. There we go. Okay. Now let's see if I can get on here and. Ooh, we got a bunch of them. Let's see. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20. About 20, so it's not that many, really. That's a good... oh, hang on a second. Sorry, folks. I got to sign in one thing, sign out another. It's just crazy. Again, with the phone verification, this is just like annoying. It's in one of those moods. Hang on a second. There it goes. Okay. Sorry, folks. I'm trying to do two things at once. And hey, Paula, how's it going? Let me just take this off while I do this. All right, come on. Where's my homepage? And go back to my wonderful little thing here. What the? My, oh my. There we go. All right, just to switch an email on it's a nightmare just to switch to another email and just to get my email on Google. It's ridiculous. It's like, oh, I got to sign out of this account. I got to sign into this account. Oh, wait, I got to verify the code. Okay, I verified the code. Okay, yes, I'm in. Okay, now I got to sign out of this account. Go back to the other one. Wait, I got to re-verify. Oh my God, it's stupidity, complete stupidity. But it is what it is. How are you, Paul? Good evening to you. I am here doing the following. Hang on, let me share my screen here. And I'm still working on my this thing on the nope, not that one. Shoot, that's not the right one. Hang on a second. And there it is. It's this one is what I'm looking at. All right, make sure I got. All right, so yeah, I'm working on this one, this timeline. All right, so this big chunk here, this is a timeline, by the way. This is like on left side is going to be January, right side is going to be December. At the moment, I'm only up to June here, but you know, I could stretch it out, make it look a little bigger. And what I'm doing basically is that big huge line. That's the time it takes the metal building to arrive. So the rest of it is not dependent on that. So here we go. Let's see what else we got here. So site work. All right. Order materials for work. Okay, now let me make sure all my numbers are correct, because I just, when I move one thing, it moves everything out of the way, and I forgot which number I just moved. I'll tell you in a second. All right. Oh, it was the metal building thing. Erect metal building. 17. Okay. So let's go back to 17 and fix everything above it. Okay, so order materials for work is dependent on the survey site. Actually, it's dependent on the submitting the permits, so that's be 10. Batter boards depends on the materials arriving, so 19. Grading, compaction, and fill, 20. That's all correct. Okay, so as you see, I look at the little pattern here. This one here, clear trees and interfering branches, that doesn't depend on 11. That depends on 12, actually. Let me see. What's okay, it's pre-permit. Oh, no, that is right. That is correct. But this one, let me see here. Okay, this one depends on number 1. Nope, this depends on when I get my tractor. So that's 2. Then this depends on 12. This depends on 13. That's more like it. And the rest of the stuff, it's funny how everything depends on everything else. And that's basically what I've been working on here. Batter boards. Okay, so we can scroll down. All this is correct. The erecting the metal building. That's going to be, well, it's part of framing, I guess, but not really. And so it depends on when I get the metal building. So, which is 8. Good. That's correct. So I'll just leave that there for now. Actually, I should lower it. Should raise it, actually. When does it start? Starts 2:11? No. What in the world is going on here? Okay, order metal building 9. That's the problem. There we go. Now it looks a little more normal. All right. So assuming everything else is correct, let's see. Now, exterior and load-bearing walls are based on 41. This is basically on 43. That's 44. Wall sheathing is based on 44. That's 45. That's 46. That's 47. 48. Oops. So as you see, as I mumble to myself, I am actually doing all the different steps and trying very hard not to miss anything. Because at the moment, this particular setup, if I got to insert something, I have to fix everything after it. Namely, these prerequisites here. Because they're tied to these things. Okay, so this is going to be 48. This is going to be 49, 50, 51, 52. And the framing inspection will be after. The framing inspection depends on the windows. Zip sealing the roof. Here's where I left off. All right, so zip sealing the roof. That depends on the framing, the roofing inspection. So 51, really. And zip sealing the exterior wall sheathing depends on the framing inspection. So that depends on 54. Dry-in depends on 55. And then, of course, the roof underlayment inspection depends on the dry-in. So, joy of joys, we have reached the final exterior. I forgot to order order materials for framing. That includes the roof. Okay, fine. I'm telling you, folks, it's if you're interested in knowing all the different steps involved, it'll be an interesting night for you. If not, and I'll be happy to chat along the way if you have any questions as far as what order to do things in. Right now, this house is it's going to be on a monolithic slab. I'm placing on the monolithic slab. I mean, just before the framing, I'm putting insulation. I'm putting wire mesh on top of the insulation and tying the radiant heating to all of that. So I'm doing all of that. Now, that being said, radiant heating in concrete slab, and it's going to be slab on grade. Then comes, obviously, stick frame. Well, not obviously, but I'm doing stick frame, 2x6 construction. And the top is engineered trusses, shingles, hip roof. That's basically the basics, the layout that I'm doing. Simple, straightforward. I'm not going to complicate matters. I'm 55. I don't need a mansion. I need a man cave of incredible proportions, which is why I'm getting a 40 by 80 shop. So anyway, that being said, let's get back to it. So I'm finishing up the. I want to see exactly how long it's going to take, or within reason exactly how long. So I've just dried in, and that puts me at June. Okay, assuming everything goes as planned, June I'm drying in. Now, that's good, I suppose. Let's continue. See, the stucco depends on the framing inspection. Well, actually, it depends on the dry-in. So let's put it on 57, 58. All right. So stucco paint. Obviously, I can't do paint until I do stucco. So that's 60. Roof shingle partial. Oh yeah. Insert one above. And I got to do this before I do anything else, which is order roof shingles and stucco, whatever. And I'll say that takes 7 days. And I'll do that around the framing inspection time. So after 54. Copy. Nope. Copy here. Paste. Huh. Okay. Let's see. 7 days. So that's that. Finish day. Okay, all of these. All right. So I'm up to 181. Let's see. Check this again. Ordering the roof shingles around the framing inspection, 54. Good. Stucco is after the 58 and 60. Let's see. Paint is after the stucco, so that's 61. Roof shingle partial. As soon as I get the roof underlayment inspection, I can. Nope, I can order that. Okay, so 60 after they come in. Partial inspection, of course, is going to be at 63. So basically, what I'm mumbling through here now is I'm looking at each one of these lines and order roof shingles and stucco. When do I want to do that? It's dependent on number 54, framing inspection. I want to do it around the time I have the framing inspection. That way, the 7 days that it takes to deliver, it will be here around the 29th. It starts on the 20th, and maybe I don't want it at the framing inspection. Maybe I'll do it at the window buck inspection. So 50, yeah, it'd be better. Better yet, when I install the windows. So 53. Yeah, because that brings me maybe even earlier. Let's start it at 55. Yeah, see, that brings the whole. I want to order these materials because they do take time to arrive. I want to order them early enough so that when they get here, which let's say this gets you on the 27th. Well, let me see. The stucco, actually, I need this earlier than the 27th. I need it, let's see. That would be, let's try 51. Nope, wrong one. Give me a sec. There we go, 51. That's better. See, I wanted to arrive so that the end of this is prior to this thing. So let's see, 50. Let's do it with the truss bracing. No, that's way too early. Roof sheeting. Perfect. If I order the stuff, and that's the beautiful thing about seeing this layout. If I order the materials for the roof around the time that I'm sheathing the roof, I've already got these materials from before, then they will arrive just when I'm ready to, after the inspections, and just when I'm ready to stucco. So that's when I'll get the stucco and all the shingles and all that other stuff. So perfect. And then the stucco, that has to be after 60 because I have to have the stucco before I can stucco. The paint clearly has to be after 61. In other words, the paint I'm painting the house, and it has to be after I put on the stucco. So, you know, everything, and then obviously the roof shingle partial, that could be anytime after this inspection. So, really, I know after 60, because that's when I order the materials, and the inspection anytime after 63, which is correct, which is after I did it. Now, this final, what is the soonest I can start finishing the roof? After I receive the partial inspection. So that's 64. What's the soonest I can call for inspection? After I finish the actual roof final, and that would be 65. All right. So that is a very nice layout of what we got here. Now let me continue. Oh, let's see if we got any wonderful questions. We do not, but I still check. Okay. So now we got the rough interior. Now the rough interior, let's say framing the interior walls, we can actually start that right after the dry-in. So 57. So you'll notice this can start right away earlier than I don't have to finish the roof before I start framing the interior walls. Now the HVAC, the ductwork, that has to be after I frame the interior. Actually, yeah, has to be after I frame the interior walls. So 68 on that. The inspection has to be after that. Interior plumbing, however, can start at the same time I start the. Actually, I prefer to start it after. So after I do the duct work, but I don't have to wait for the inspector to start the. I don't have to wait for the AC inspector to start the plumbing installations or the electricals. So what I'll do is interior plumbing. As soon as I finish the HVAC, the duct work, which is very annoying, I'll start the plumbing, which is 71. Nope, that's 69. All right, and then the interior, the shower, same thing with the shower pans and the drains and all that. Rough plumbing inspection is clearly after. Let me just do this. That one will be after 71, and that one will be after 72. Electrical can start, same thing with the HVAC ductwork when that's done. So 68, or rather 69. That's all the electrical. And then as soon as I finish that, I can 74. So I got all of that stuff. Except now I have one thing that I messed up in. Insert. Nope. I forgot to order the supplies. All right, so anything after 68 has to add one. So 70, 72, 73, 70, 75. Okay. See what I mean by adjusting everything just because of one little thing? That it gets to be really annoying. But it is what it is, you know? Interior rough. Now order the supplies. When am I going to order the supplies? Let's see. It takes 7 days as always. And again, I'm being very, very conservative. When do I want the supplies to get here? I want the supplies to get here before the 18th. So let's see if I order them when I do the paint. So 62. No. Guess not. It's 63. Sooner than that. I gotta order them. Shoot, I gotta order them when I order the others. I'll leave it like it is. Okay, so that's part of that. The next thing on the list is insulation. Insert one above. Order insulation. Let's see here. It takes, we'll call it 7 days. And yeah, that's a good time. Except, yeah, ordering the insulation. So the insulation itself has to be here after the electrical inspections. Well, not really, but I don't want to have that in the way. So 76 it is. Good. After ACE, let me see. Electrical inspection. Nope. After plumbing inspection, because plumbing is the latest one. So let's say 74, which puts it, again, a little bit later, but that's more realistic. Oh, joy, guys. The drywall, which, of course, the drywall happens right after. Oh, well, insert. Order interior finish supplies. All right. And 7 days. Okay. Fun part. Drywall has to come after the interior inspection, so after 80. After, the insulation inspection. All right, so why is this not moving over? Make sure everything's correct here. Starting on day 3, there's a problem with it. Okay, duration 21 days, prerequisite 80, installation inspection. Installation inspection depends on, that's what happened. 79. There we go. Let me see my chats, because Alex said, oh, look at this. Happy Thanksgiving, Al. He just texted me. It's my cousin. And I will see you. Yes, I will see you Monday. Holy cow, it's just around the corner. So I'm looking forward to the trip there, to the trip back up. And spend a little time relaxing. And let's see what we got here. So we got, all right. So now we're at, tomorrow, obviously, happy Thanksgiving, everyone, for tomorrow. And tomorrow, let's see, drywall inspection depends on the drywall, so 83. Tomorrow, my dad's coming by. My dad's been is a contractor for 56 years now. That's one heck of a long time to be building buildings. And so I'm going to give him all the charts and stuff and just have him look him over and make sure all my numbers are correct, because he's still 77 years old. He's a whiz with numbers. Okay, tape and everything, that depends on that. Prime and paint interior. I just want to make sure I'm not missing any little issues. All right, I want to check the duration and the prerequisites for each one of these. The duration to do the drywall, 21 days. That's like overkill. I'm probably going to knock it out in 3 or 4 days. Well, okay, let's not go crazy. Let's say 2 weeks tops, because I'm one guy, and I'm talking. We're talking about 935 lineal feet of interior. That's actually 935 feet of baseboard, which means 935 feet lineal feet of drywall, 8 foot high. So 935. We're talking. Yeah, it's going to be a considerable amount. In fact, it's definitely going to be over that number. So because if we're looking at 935 divided by, let's say, 4 foot width, that's 233 sheets. That's about right. 233 sheets. Now, 3,500 square foot. Well, really 3,200 under. So 3,200 square feet divided by 32 square feet is 100 panels. So we got 240 on the walls and 140 on the ceiling that I have to install. So I've got my work cut out for me, guys. I've got my work cut out for me. So I'm going to separate these, and I'm going to call this drywall. Actually, ceiling drywall has to come first, and then wall drywall. And that should not be black. That should be black. Should not be the other color. Okay, so ceiling drywall, let's see. Time for one person to hang drywall ceiling. Okay, so 8-foot ceilings should be at 2,000 square foot for half or 1,500 square foot for 5/8 per man per day. Okay, according to this, drywall talk, they have good. So 3 days is what they say. I say 5 days just to give it some extra stuff. And now on the wall, we're looking at how much drywall can be, how much to hang by yourself. We're looking at, yeah. I know it's easier. Okay. Between 35 to 40 sheets in an 8-hour day. Okay. I'm pretty damn good at hanging sheets. So 40 sheets, I think that's a very low estimate, but let's just say it's 40 sheets. So at this point, we're looking at 240 divided by 40. We're looking at 6 days. Okay, 6 days. I'll say this. I'll give it 14 days. Well, 10, and then 14 will be the. I've got an adjustment here for weekends. So, okay, so that's roughly what I think. All right, so, and this also depends on 83. Nope, that's a circular reference. What is this? Oh yeah, 83. Okay, that depends on 80, installation inspection, and no, that depends on 82. There we go. And that depends on 83. Drywall inspection, of course, depends on this one. And taping comes after the drywall inspection. So All righty. Priming and painting. Let me check on the StreamYard here. There we go. All right. Priming and painting. All right, so priming and painting, we're looking after the drywall finish. The drywall finish, let me see, to texture and finish the drywall, I'm giving myself 28 days. That's a heck of a long time, but yeah, it'll, you know. Now, priming and painting the interior, yeah, 5 days, piece of cake. I'm a painter, this one I know. And we're basing it, and it's got to be 86 is the number. So then that's now painting the interior doors. I could do it any time after I order the supplies. So we'll say 82. Hang the interior doors. That has to be after they're painted. So 88. Painting millwork and all that other stuff. Same thing. 82. And hanging them is after the doors are hung. So 89. Electrical trim. Oh, joy. I love electrical trim. But electrical trim is done anytime after the drywall is painted. So 87. Floor tiles. I want to do that after the millwork is installed. So 91. Counters and vanities is after the floor tile, of course. Trim and plumbing fixtures is after the counters and vanities because they're on the counters and vanities. Appliances are, well, that doesn't really matter. That could be any time. So it's after the floor tiles, really, 93. AC installation is going to be after the electrical trim. Possibly before, but trim HVAC, that's after the AC installation. Interior door hardware is anytime after I hang the doors. So 89. And now comes the punch list. So I'd say give myself 7 days for the punch list. And let's see what's the latest thing that I have. That would be the trim HVAC. So 98. That'll be the last thing is the punch list. Final inspection is after the punch list. And the CO is after the final inspection. So technically speaking, folks, if I start 1/1/2021 as the start date, drum roll. Best case scenario, folks, best case scenario, if I start securing financing, which I've already started. So, but let's say I start in January and it takes me, oh, look, I heard someone come in, Mr. Russ. Hey, Russ.
How's it going?
Good. I'm here doing, I just finished up the, this wonderful little plan here. And assuming I start everything, like securing financing, really, I got to say 12/1 because 2020, that's about the time. So if I start 12/1/2020, that means I will, next year, January 1st, roughly, I'll be buying a tractor and pulling the permit and all that other stuff. You submit the permit by the 20th. I'll be submitting the permit. And if everything goes optimally, which is,
you pray to the Lord for,
which you got to pray like crazy. It's going to take, and this is with getting, not including weekends. In other words, I'm off on Saturday, Sunday, which I'm really not. So we're looking at a finish date of October. I really, really sincerely doubt that it'll take that. Actually, no, come to think of it, there is something that I have to. Okay, so here, where's the? Here it is. Is this it? Nope, that's not it. Where did I put the? Yeah, there it is. Erect metal building. So this metal building, yeah, I put 30 days to erect it, but then these load-bearing walls I'm doing at the same time as the building. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of this stuff that I'm not. Here's the problem with this particular schedule. Almost everything depends on something else. However, like for instance, these things up here, I can buy the tractor, get the plumbing plans, and get the HVAC. I gave myself 7 days, starting on the same day for all those things. Okay, and I could do all that. This is all feasible. But then when it comes to, like, for instance, okay, so while I've submitted the permit, while this is going on, I am clearing the stumps and all this other stuff. That's fine. Oh, wait a second here. Hang on a second. Submit the permit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Ryan Ballard has another set of circumstances for you.
Yeah.
He said plan starts January the 1st and it falls apart the 2nd.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. No doubt. No doubt. In fact, I expect it to fall apart well before then. Well before I started, but we'll see. I'm an optimist, but I'm also a realist, so it is what it is. Like right now, okay, so this one here, this is the stretch that I order the metal building, but I don't receive it until this date over here, till April. Okay, assuming I order it in as soon as I get the financing, I order it, but I won't get it till April. Okay, now assuming I don't get it till April, I could still do all this stuff, and that's not a problem. I'm doing all this stuff. Let's see, receive the permit. What the hey? Hang on, this is completely out of. Okay, it takes 28 days to receive the. That's why it's taken so short. Hang on a second, because there's something wrong here. Apply for the RV permit. Technically, I can't apply for the RP permit until I receive. No, I could apply for it before. Survey site, I could do that before. Order materials for site work and all that. That actually depends on receiving the permit. No, I can't start until receiving the permit. So this one actually, which is what everything is based on, here's where the plan goes awry. Remember I said, yeah. Well, here we go. This is actually going to be 15. Bam. Now all of a sudden, all of this extended. Well, guess what? Now my finish date is January of 2022. January 28th of 2022. It's going to take 423 days. Now, that includes 31 days of the financing. So really, my work starts when I receive the permit, which is this date here. Actually, I should just highlight it here. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. That is. All right, so this is my start date. 4/28. That's worst case scenario. Wow. That's not right. That's not right either.
That's a long time to wait.
Hang on a second. Order metal bill. Oh, okay. What the? 9. Oh, it's 10. That's more like it. Now we're cooking with Crisco. All right, here we go. Now the end date is 10/29. That makes a little more sense. See, what happens is I can apply for the RV permit before I receive the permit, and I could survey the site. But all this other stuff down here, all this stuff, order materials, batter boards, and starting the work, I can't do that until after I receive the permit. So assuming I receive the permit in February, then that's when I start. That's when all this goes. But here's the part of the plan that's really a little messed up. See, I'm telling myself that I can erect. Let me go ahead and do the metal building will be. I'll make it this blue metal building. Oh, yeah, make it that blue color. And this one's the metal building. So the metal building is going to be blue. So now this part doesn't affect me because I could place an order online and I could wait for it to come in. I could write a check. It'll take me less than an hour. It won't interfere with any of the stuff I'm doing. However, this one here, I'm saying that the 30 days it takes me to erect a metal building. Now, if I pay somebody to do it, then this is correct on the timeline because I'll be doing other stuff while they're building the building. But if I'm doing this myself and I got to spend 30 days concentrating on a metal building, then basically this one goes to here, and my date now changes to a finished date of December 11th. I can do that. I'll just leave it that way for now. I'll leave it that way because that's a reasonable thing, and then that way, if the metal building is finished early, or if I do have it done, I'll have 30 days of 42 days of leeway time. Okay, this is crazy. All the stuff that's but then there's other things like, for instance, this here, the roof, the stucco. I'm doing the dry-in in the end of July, but at the same time, during July, I'm doing the roof shingles. So wait a second, how's that possible? Oh, order the roof shingles. Okay, no, I'm doing the stucco, so I can't be both doing the stucco and the roof and the interior, framing the interior walls. I can if I was more than one person, but all of this stuff overlaps. And that's the part that's a little bit not realistic. So I gotta work on all of that.
Well, why don't you take one of those helpers that you had that photograph? A couple of them helpers you had that looked a whole lot like you.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you guys did I show these guys the picture? Did I show you all the picture yesterday on Facebook?
I saw it. I don't know who else.
Let me go ahead and share it. I don't know if I did or not, but hang on. Give me a sec and I'll share my wonderful photo. You guys, I know Ryan saw it. Let's see if you guys get a kick out of this or not. But all right, so oops, hang on. Give me a second. I'm working on it. All right, so so there you go. What do you think, guys? This is my crew. They're all very hard workers. Every single one of them is an intelligent genius. They're incredible. It's absolutely incredible. They're all very helpful. There's a couple lazy ones, and I'll tell you one thing that's you'll notice between the guy with the red cup and my guy with the red hat. If you look back there, yeah, that other one's an idiot. He got stuck inside the CNC machine. So, but this is me down here with the Javi cap, just in case you didn't know which one was which, But all the others, there's the guy with the Cam Master cap back there on the far right is he's just like laughing his ass off at the idiot and taking a picture of him and the idiot in the CNC stuff, And the other guys are giving advice. Some of them are just looking. Some of them are just gabbing back there, social butterflies that they are.
Yeah.
That
one in the red cap is staring intently at whatever you're thinking about.
I'm telling you, both of those guys back there are really interested in what I was doing there stuff. It's one of those sites that should not be named. So you got to be careful. Hey, Marcello, how's it going?
Yeah, Marcello was the one that told me you were on. I had my phone off, and I didn't even know you were on. And he popped in and was showing me something he'd done, and said, "He's watching you." I said, "Oh, wait a minute."
Yep.
But wasn't even aware of it.
Every single one of them is drinking Diet Coke. Yep. That's funny. You see you got the my cup is there my cup is off screen, and then you got my advice guy. He's got the green cup with the googly eyes. The guy behind me has the cup that I'm using now, but I share. And then back there, the guy with the old man hat has the black cup, there to just under the photographer. And and way back behind the red hat guy, there's another one drinking from the silver mug, and I mean it's from a silver mug. And then you got the guy with the Coca-Cola cap, which is the black and red brim cap. He's drinking from a blue cup. Yeah. So, needless to say, man, I was so pissed that day. It's like I had just finished buying a couple cases of Diet Coke, and they were all gone. I mean, it was just I couldn't. What am I going to do? I got to be social, but these guys,
bunch of freeloaders in there drinking up all your Diet Coke.
Freeloaders. They don't know when to stop. Well, I mean, luckily I didn't have to feed any to the guy in the CNC machine because the guy in the silver cup just locked screwed the door tight on him so he couldn't get out stuff. And that was pretty cool. Yeah, but the rest of those guys, I mean, out of all those guys, there's one guy there working, one guy lifting some stuff and moving it over for me. He was the only one, that was really, truly working. But that's what happens when you hire a bunch of geniuses. They don't get anything done. They just think a lot.
That's a good one.
It kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna do another picture like that, and when I start building, oh my god, that's gonna be fantastic. When I do the interior, I'm gonna do like electrical hookups and I'm gonna do ceiling drywall, electrical hookups. And I'm gonna have time-lapse pictures and do every single freaking one of them all at the same time. It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be a guy hanging drywall, a me hanging drywall, while there's another me on an electrical panel. While there's
it's gonna be a trip.
Good start. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. So how you doing, Russ?
Doing good. Yeah, I was setting up a scroll saw pattern of Deadpool that I'm gonna give to the grandson, and I was working on that intently, and I had my phone in my pocket.
Yeah.
Of course, the sound was down. I've never turned it back up.
Yeah.
And I just happened to look down, and I was in here working on that when Marcello come up and said, "Hey, I'm watching Javi. Oh shoot, okay.
Is this
I
one
didn't
of
even know it.
is this one of Charles Deering's patterns?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I printed it out and did some things to it, and then I'm gonna find me a piece of wood for it tomorrow sometime. It's gonna be a big one, big enough anyway.
Well, I got relatively far in my relative is a relative term. See this? This is the desk is all nice and super clean and all this and
Yeah, a lot better than it's
so,
been.
so but unfortunately, that stuff's still there. So working on it. I'm working on it, but I am trying my best to get it done. But at least I've got this whole area clean behind me. I'm just
looks better than my shop. I'll tell you that.
God, it feels good.
Mm-hmm.
Little by little, I'll clear this all out. I'm going to get some more work done tonight. But
I'm almost to the point of giving in and having my wife help me organize. Almost, but I'm not quite there, but I'm close. God
I do
dang
that
it.
every now and then.
It's a
she'll
daunting task.
throw away a lot of stuff, but
I know that's the problem. I
that's
don't
the
want to
problem.
throw nothing away without let me see it.
Making a pumpkin roll for tomorrow. Interesting. I did for those of you that speak Spanish, I did an arroz con pollo today.
Some chicken.
Yep. I did the rice and chicken, the yellow rice and chicken.
I love it.
And so, man, I don't know, tryptophan or whatever. Tomorrow I'm not doing turkey. So, but I am doing, we're actually doing cordon bleu. We always do something different Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the thing is with the traditional turkey, I love turkey, right? But after 55 years of turkey, I mean,
had enough, eh?
Well, on Thanksgiving, it's always the same thing. And
yeah,
the worst part is this: always the turkey's nice. It's always the same thing, and it's not my favorite food. And what's the point in celebrating something if, first of all, nobody likes it except me? It's not my favorite food. I'd rather have meatloaf. And third and most important, you never know how many people come in. It's usually my family. So there's a dozen of us. So we have a dozen. I have a dozen people over the house. So it's my family, everybody. Anywhere between 10 and 20 in total. Anywhere between 10 and 20 that show up is a big range. So what do? You cook for 18 and hope that and hope that everybody doesn't show up. And get RSVPs, obviously. But okay, so let's say you cook for 20, and let's say a quarter of the people are not quite as hungry as you think they are, so they don't eat much, if anything at all. And then there's another quarter which just doesn't like what you're cooking, so they're going to eat. They'll have the salad, or they'll have this, or they'll bring their own food, because it's family. So I brought this. Oh, wonderful lobster casserole. And my whole family hates lobster except my dad. But
Oh Lord.
So anyway, and my brother. So what happens? They eat. Everybody's full. Everybody's in a tryptophan coma on the couch. At least all the guys are. The usual. And if nobody starts a political conversation, the evening goes well. Okay. So we're going to avoid that this year. Now, so what happens? Now I end up, when I had a 20-pound or whatever turkey, because I expected 20 people to eat turkey, or at least 12 or 15 of them to eat turkey, and then maybe 4 people, including myself, ate turkey. So now I've got leftovers for a week.
Oh, yeah.
Now, certain leftovers, like you give me meatloaf leftovers for a week, I don't care. You give me a 10-pound meatloaf, no problem. I'll have leftovers for a week. and then I'll snack in the middle of the night. I will be eating that thing constantly.
I hear you.
But turkey, that's a once a day thing, and then you'll skip a day. So in the next 4 or 5 days, which is about as far as the turkey is good without drying out in the fridge, you've eaten 3 meals or 4 of turkey. You're sick and tired of turkey, and that happens to me every year. My wife will probably share the next day because she doesn't want to waste food, but she's not big on leftovers, which means I'm the one who take all the leftovers. And so that's the reason we've that's one of the reasons we don't do that anymore. We'll have the meatloaf one year. We'll have my dad complained about meatloaf one year. He said, "Oh, that's not traditional." And I'm, okay, that's fine, but So then the following year, what we did was we bought one of those Publix sliced little balls of turkey, and those are great, smoked turkey and stuff. Served him a couple, 3 or 4 slices of that stuff with the gravy and all that, and they were happy as a clam stuff. But then the following year we did the same thing. He didn't eat any turkey.
What?
And then and then another year we served ham. He loved the ham. Then the following year we served the ham again. He didn't want the ham. So then now we're stuck with a bunch of ham. I mean, I like sweet ham as much as the next guy, but so now what we do is we just there is what there is. Good evening, Chris. Good to see you. You have about 20 pounders, 20 pounders for 220 pounders for 5 people. Cook a mean turkey. Had it 3 times in the last week. Oh, excellent. And if you like turkey, more power to you. So basically what I did is, since I had to get the meatloaf out of my system, I cooked the meatloaf a couple days ago. Made myself a mean meatloaf and had that for a couple days. And then today I had the arroz con pollo, the rice and chicken. Tomorrow it's French style. Everything is French style. It's we're doing chicken cordon bleu. It's funny, for Thanksgiving we're doing a French theme. Whatever. Hey, last year we did Italian. I like the Italian.
Talk about non-traditional Thanksgiving.
The best part about the Italian is when you have a lot of people, serve Italian. Cheap as hell. Maybe you'll buy a chicken to throw into all the pasta, but that's it.
Well, like Ryan says, he's doing it. He's deep frying a 12-pound turkey for them, and I actually prefer it fried instead of traditionally baked. I've only had it that way about 3 or 4 times in my life.
It's juicy that way.
Oh yeah, it's really good, really good fried.
But the crispy crust on the outside.
Yes, sir.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. But I don't know. I've been getting. It's funny because I was an extremely picky eater when I was a kid. Extremely picky eater.
I still am, I guess.
I mean, oh my God, I was rice and turkey. At my parents' house for Thanksgiving, they had everything. They had a bunch of different Cuban dishes, and they had this, and they had that, and then they had yams, and they had mashed potatoes, and they had this, and they had white rice.
Yep.
And turkey, no gravy. That was it for me. That's all I ever had. Well, what the hell's wrong with you? My dad was.
I can agree with him. You got to have gravy with that dang rice.
Well, yeah. Well, later. I mean, later. Here's the funny part. And I mentioned this story before, but up until the age when I was young, when I was a kid, my dad force-fed mashed potato. He made me try it and finish my plate of the mashed potatoes. Which is probably the worst thing. He doesn't remember doing this, but I remember, and it was probably the worst thing that he ever did, because I wasn't sure if I was full or I just didn't like the taste. But at that time, it was not appetizing, and the fact that somebody's forcing me to do it, I did not taste mashed potatoes again, and I had an aversion to mashed potatoes until I was 23 years old.
Wow,
23. Then. A buddy of mine, hey, you want some mashed potatoes? Well, I'll try them, because French fry. And here's my reasoning. My reasoning was I like fries. I like hash browns. I like tater tots. I like, I mean, the list goes on. And in every way, shape, and form, I like potatoes. But you know,
not mashed.
Not mashed. So I tried the mashed ones, and of all places, Denny's.
Ah,
delicious, freaking delicious. Denny's, of all places, is responsible for my love of mashed potatoes. You know, which basically tells me you can't screw up mashed potato. Well, you probably could, but you know. So anyway, yeah. So over the years, mashed potatoes, and then mashed potatoes with gravy and stuff like that. But I got to tell you, I was very picky, and then came my youth and 20s, where it was all, as you can tell by my size, it was all fast food.
Yes, sir.
All. I
That's
mean,
what happened to me. I know
it was like all my high school years. It was either Cazzoli's Pizza or Burger King. That's it. And I wasn't a McDonald's fan. I didn't eat at McDonald's at all.
I love McDonald's.
Burger King was all Burger King for me. But then again, Burger King was based in Miami. So Burger King. And there was a Burger King across the street. Then they made a new McDonald's when I was in college in the same place as the Burger King. Well, the Burger King got packed one day and I went over to McDonald's. And I loved the fries at McDonald's. Oh, my God, they were better than Burger King fries. Oh, I never tasted it before. You know, I mean, I had tasted them, but then for a while, it was always McDonald's. But then, you know, college comes around, and then for a short 2 years, I was cracking the books and studying at this is kind of weird how this happened. I would go over to a Subway's restaurant on 97th and I had a buddy of mine, John, who lived probably 20 minutes from my house. And I would go to visit him. Well, some days he was in school, so I would wait at the Subways. And I'd grab a meatball sub. It was always a meatball sub or a tuna sub, but never mixed. And so, which I did one time.
Not good.
Oh, it was atrocious. So meatball sub, and the guys there, the owner of there was a guy, the owner, Mac, and then his worker, they knew me so well. Half the time they gave me free subs. That's how often I came in. I came in from the afternoon when I finished college, when I finished university, until John came home, which was 5 or 6 o'clock. And then later, after I left John's house, they were still open. And at that time, I got to know these guys, and I would hang out at the Subways with my books, and it's just one table that nobody ever there, maybe 1 or 2 people occasionally, but it was, and I'd chat with the guys from Subways. I'd hang out. It was my hangout. And I'd keep them from getting bored, and they kept me from you know, letting the studying get monotonous. And I mean, that was a good 2 years of that. I was one of those people that I would like one food for a long time. Occasionally check. There was my IHOP period as well, where I, you know, Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity. I mean,
Lord,
oh my God, it was, you know, I stuffed myself with so many pancakes that year, and other stuff. I found out, just when I was getting tired of the pancakes, I found out that they had other stuff on them. Oh my God, I could order a burger here! Wow! Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. So, yeah, those were my 20s. And then pretty much all the way up until I got married. And I got married at 33. So basically at that point, either Carrie made me something we in the beginning we ate out a little, and we would eat out at restaurants, but at that point, I had a full kitchen. It was not that I didn't have a kitchen before, but now it was like, my new house, my new kitchen, my new wife. Oh, yeah, I'm cooking, and I cook, and then I cook, and then all of a sudden it got to the point where I can't stand eating out because nothing compares to my cooking. Or within reason. There's some good steakhouses that do a decent job, better than me, but. And you get tired of your own cooking after a while. You gotta have, occasionally. But now I'm getting back into, and that was the part before I went from fast food to me cooking, and then now I'm trying everything new. And I go, I wonder how this would taste. Let's give it a shot. 9 times out of 10, that one time was horrible, but 9 times out of 10 was pretty damn good stuff. And I opened my palate to a lot of other things. But now I'm getting set in my ways, man. I'm like,
now you're back to meatloaf.
I love the meatloaf. I get tired of meatloaf. I'll have the chicken, I'll have the rice and chicken. Lately I've been eating a heck of a lot of mushroom chicken. I know you don't like mushroom, but I saute the mushrooms in butter.
I like the flavor, but I don't like the mushrooms themselves.
Yeah. And then I just throw them all, slather them sauteed mushrooms in that thing.
Making me sick, man. I got my kale in it.
Okay, how about this? The other night, chicken. Spread a Pyrex pan with a light coating of marinara sauce, tomato sauce, of spaghetti sauce. Throw a bunch of thinly sliced chicken all throughout there. Coat the whole thing in marinara. Drop a bunch of cheese. Just layer the whole. Just make them butt up against each other. You'll figure out how to do it later. The whole thing in Colby Jack or mozzarella. It depends what
Colby Jack is my favorite.
And then layer the whole thing in Parmesan cheese. Throw it in the oven. 45 minutes later, you've got freaking delicious chicken.
You heard it here, folks. You got a good recipe to try when you get home.
It's a simple one. But the the rice, the yellow rice, that is just a freaking delicious recipe. What you do is you pour. Here's one for you guys. If you ever have the need to make, Cuban arroz con pollo, you take there's a brand Goya, Goya, and they have these little seasoned packets. And there's one with it says with azafran. That's Azafran. It's like a yellowing. It's what gives the thing its yellow. So get yourself a little tiny mixing bowl or whatever. Or we have one of these little tiny jars. It's like a half a quart. It's a pint jar, plastic, but it's got a screw on top for the mixer. So you just put it upside down. It's really cool for one of those Oster mixers. Good evening, Glenn. We're talking recipes here today because I just finished doing some stuff. So then, so what you do is put in there a little bit of olive oil, put about a quarter of that pint of cooking sherry, and then you got a tablespoon of salt. Obviously the seasoning, the azafran seasoning, and chop up an onion, nice and thin. Doesn't matter because you're going to puree the whole thing. And that's about it. Okay, so you have that mixed. Dump it and put it on simmer for like 5-10 minutes while you're slicing up a bunch of boneless chicken breasts in little cubes. Not a fish person, Glenn. Sorry. And then so
he's a little stereotyping. You're right there in Miami, right there on the water.
No fish. I'm a Cuban that doesn't like fish, and I'm a Cuban that doesn't like black beans. And I have never met a Cuban other than myself that does not like black beans and rice. They all love me. Don't like the texture. So you get that sauce, you pour it in there, and then you put the chicken in there 5-10 minutes later. Mix it all up and let it simmer there for another 10 minutes. Then you throw in the vegetables, peas and carrots, just something to give it color and a little bit of extra taste. Then again, stir it around for a little bit. Then you take that same little pint of, whatever was left in there, you wash it out with some water. So you got a full thing of water, pour it in there, and half of it. So 1.5 units of water with a little bag of jasmine rice. And you throw it in there, or sorry, not jasmine, Valencia rice. And then that's it. Let it cook for 10, 15 minutes, stirring occasionally. You just made yourself the most delicious chicken and rice, and it is freaking fantastic. What goes well with chicken and rice is one of two things. Either they call them tostones, for those of you that follow the culture, but basically they are green bananas flattened and fried, deep fried. They're if you've ever had plantain chips, banana chips, not the sweet dried banana chips that are made from real bananas, the other ones, the ones that are salty, they make them out of the same material, except this is just a little bit, it looks like a little disc, like a 1/3 the height of a hockey puck and about the same diameter. Anyways, these are tostones is what they call them. You can buy them pre-made, or you can get those big green bananas, which is annoying as hell. Slice them up into discs and just put the spatula and flatten it, and that's how they do it. Then throw it in the deep fryer. Or second option, buy yourself a bag of plantain chips and then use that as a, because I like crunchy, and the rice and chicken is not. It's not crunchy. So, so this stuff, that's good. Oh, crunchy. That's good. Crunchy. Gotta have it. Red beans and rice with Polish sausage served with red onion slices and cornbread. I got to be honest with you, not a fan of the beans. I'm
going to disagree with him, Glenn.
I will have the Polish sausage. And you know what? Red beans is different, because red beans, I will say it's different. See, I'm not a spicy eater, so nobody's ever been able to convince me to eat. I haven't really tried it. Chili. Everybody's crazy about chili. I've never tried it because every chili is spicy, and I'm not a fan of spices. Well, fine, a little bit, but not a lot.
I'm in the same category as you in that respect.
So you're not a chili person.
I like chili, but I can't take the heat. And I'm one Texan that cannot take the heat. So I tell my wife to get the false alarm stuff instead of anything else.
I will say this, and not to say this is good quality food, but the Olive Garden.
Mm-hmm. I've never eaten there. We got one, but I never went there.
They serve. I like it. It's a pretty good minestrone. Now, I like real minestrone. And when it's cooked by somebody, other than Olive Garden. But I forced myself to try minestrone. I didn't want to because it had beans in it, and red beans at that, and I think some white ones. I'm not sure, but hey, it's delicious. Now, I will be honest with you. The part of the minestrone that I don't like is the texture of the beans when it hits my mouth. Other than that, chicken spaghetti, absolutely. I have it all the time. I like chicken spaghetti. Yeah, it's fettuccine Alfredo dish.
I like that.
Let's see what other
on his
so one of the other things that I love making is I go for some of those copycat recipes and then just fiddle around with the ingredients. And I have my own version of the loaded baked potato soup from
Hmm.
Longhorns.
Hmm.
So I make a huge pot of that thing. It lasts for, let's put it this way, it'll last for a week. And here's the best part: I make it so thick, it's delicious and creamy. The first 2 or 3 days, it's fantastic, but it's become so thick over the third or fourth day, it is no longer soup. It is a delicious
It's a
crushed
mush.
mashed potatoes, is what it is. Well, ultimately, it's you use instant mashed potatoes watered down for the base. So I got to tell you, in a lot of thyme, whatever, a lot of thyme and basil. Anyway, not a lot, but just enough. Worcestershire sauce, all those concoctions. Now, if you have a thick steak, what you do is I make that potato soup, and then 2 or 3 days later, I make a huge barbecued steak. And then I scoop the soup and add it as the most delicious flavored mashed potato mix, because it's basically baked potato soup.
Anybody heading to Miami for a cookout? Now you know where to go.
Oh man, I'm telling you,
Room
fantastic.
for a bunch.
Then the other thing I like cooking every now and then, and I got the ingredients. I haven't made it in a while. I think I will. Is Cracker Barrel's hash brown casserole.
Oh, I love that stuff.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
Lord,
And I have a
that
copycat
stuff.
recipe for it, and so it's fantastic.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I make my own stuff.
Well, that's how you can get some help down there when you finally get the building on your house.
Oh yeah, I'll feed them. That's not a problem.
Cookout, man.
Hey, if anybody's got some energy and wants to come help me build my house, by all means, reach out to me. Look at Andrew Haig has come by 4 or 5 times, and I am so incredibly thankful for every single one of them. And when I finish building and take a month after I build the house just to sit and relax in the house, after that point, I'm going to call Andrew and say, hey, what can I do for you? Because I owe you big time, because I know he's going to help me some more.
Yeah, buddy.
And
I'm
not a fan of paying for labor. If I pay for labor, it's going to be skilled labor.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like mixing business with pleasure, so I won't pay for friends. However, I'll pay you back in labor. So
he's wanting people that's going to work, not supervise, folks.
Yeah.
You only have one supervisor on the job.
Well, they're also welcome to come by and I've got friends that and my cousins sometimes that they'll come by, and my cousins are workaholics, so they come by, they work their ass off. But I've got other friends that'll come by, see what I'm doing, they'll get inspired and help for a little while. An hour or two. Hey, I'll appreciate any amount of time. You want to sit by the lake and fish for the entire day and give me an hour of help? You're welcome to it. You want to not give me an hour of help? Well, as long as you keep me company for a little while, you're welcome to
it. Alex gonna be around?
What? Al? He'll be up there. He'll be up there. I mean, he's a jeweler. He just finished moving to a new store, so he's rebuilding the business. You know how it is. I mean, it's not by any means. I mean, he's got his clientele, but the thing is, there was an issue with his prior building, a big issue, and it was basically one of the big hurricanes took down the roof, and it was and then there was a big mess, and just when he was about to buy, he had an option to buy to buy the unit, and he would have put money to fix it and stuff. Just when he was about to buy the unit, apparently, from what I understand, I don't know the details, but some other company bought the whole building.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. So he no longer had an option. He basically, and then it would have to be stuck in legal and all this. At our age, that's just a hassle and a half. It's a pain in the butt. He found a fantastic deal. Well, not a great. I mean, he would have been paying a lot less, but he found a great deal on a much better location. And sure enough, that's where he's at now, on the same street.
Cool.
In downtown, in his downtown area. And I got to tell you, it's the place looks freaking fantastic. It's brand new. It's exactly the way he wants it. He's got all new stuff, but it's an investment. So he's.
Right. Is he in a standalone, or is he in a like a strip mall kind of thing?
I don't know if you've ever been to like Franklin, North Carolina, for instance.
No, I haven't been there.
Okay, well, imagine an old town, an old, or actually, if you've ever been to Old Town in Disney, Main Street. Think of Main Street in Disney World. Very similar. It's a small town hub.
Right.
Of a bunch of different stores. You got the burger place, you got the pizza place, you got you got the police station on that same strip. It's one main street that's maybe 5 or 6 blocks long.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the heart of the place.
Right.
And then on one end you got a train station. I mean, an old train station with a train displaying, no tracks. But you've got you've got a real estate company, you got a bike shop, you got an ice cream place or two, you got a bunch of little stores, some offices, dental office. Typical. Though all the streets are cobblestone.
I look for those places whenever I go into another.
Oh my God! I'll tell you when we're off. I'll tell you exactly where it is, and then you'll love it. Love it. I just walked that place and it's freaking fantastic.
Yeah. So
anyway, so he's in there, but the thing is, the people of the town, they all know him. They've been. I mean, the person that bought their wedding ring from him 20 years later, their daughter's getting a wedding ring from him. And
yeah,
that's how it is.
Yeah, that's right.
So I try not to call on him until I truly need him. And same thing with my other cousin, he's got his own life, and he's a teacher. He's a phys ed teacher, and he's a year older than me, but imagine being a PE teacher for so long and soccer coach. It takes a toll on the knees. It takes a toll on and he's got his own 6-acre property that he maintains by himself. He's built 3 different he built so this is really cool. He built a small what do I call it? House shed, not a house shed, cabin.
Okay.
He built a very small cabin when he first moved in and stuff. He's got a big wooded backyard, so he built a small cabin there. Well, he named that one Doodlebug. Doodlebug is the nickname of his son.
Boy.
He called him. I mean, when he was years ago. Now he's all grown up and lives. But now his daughter has 2 kids. The first one, Savannah, she's got, again, he built another cabin, and that's the one he's been using for a while. He dedicated it to her. Boom, now it's her cabin. Now they got a new kid, Noah, coming through the lines. So what did he do? He built another cabinet to store his stuff, really, to keep, because when you got 6, 10, however many acres you got all these, implements.
Oh, you gotta have.
You gotta have them to maintain the place.
Yeah,
you gotta have a place to put them. You gotta have storage. You gotta have, et cetera, et cetera. Well, he built a cabin, but it's basically a storage place, and he's fantastic. But all the cabins, they look like something out of Fort Wilderness and Disney World, which really, it's kind of funny I say that because Fort Wilderness and Disney World is mocking or imitating old-fashioned pioneering cabins.
Right.
That's exactly what my cousin succeeded in doing with every one of his builds. The latest one is basically, it's an all-wood structure. It's on piles and stuff. And he's calling it the General Store.
Wow.
Noah's General Store. So one is his granddaughter's cabin. The other one's his grandson's General Store.
Wow, man, that's
to name it, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'll probably end up building tree houses or something for mine. I don't know.
Oh, Lord.
But not on the trees that I have. I got to be careful with that because I'm telling you that the trees that I have on my property, there's a few of them that were extremely holy.
We don't mean in the church sense.
Yeah, and I think I'm pretty sure I had a lightning hit over there some time ago, and I wasn't there at the time, but I came back and all my equipment was cameras, internet server.
Oh, that was when it was all down there? Yeah,
that was when it was all that was when it was down there. And so all that got hit. Maybe 5 out of 8 cameras were shot. And it was all from an EMP. It was all from electromagnetic pulse. And I noticed in between the time I was there before and the time I went there, one tree, major tree, not major, it's like maybe 18-inch
good
size tree. Wham! It got hit and fell over. And it's a shame because it's one of the ones. It's not like it's one of the ones that would have been in the way of the house because there's nothing in the way of the house. It's one in the middle of the woods. Oh man, I lost the tree. So I was a little upset at that, but it is what it is. It's nature. I got more firewood now.
You got that right.
But or hopefully wood to build stuff. But that with its own Lichtenberg design.
Yeah, there you go.
One big black streak. Well, anyway,
man.
So I was out. Hey, Drew, how's it going?
Hello, Drew.
So it's I've been looking heavy duty into lightning protection and all that stuff, but the bottom line is the way the codes are written. Because I've been studying the electrical code like nobody's business, and because all the changes in 2020 that I have to take care of, the way the code is written, I'm protected. I'm completely protected against pretty much all forms of indirect lightning strikes. But when it comes to a direct lightning strike, I'm sorry. And just like that happened, there's nothing you can do about it.
No.
You got a pulse. Heck, the other day I saw a YouTube video. It was phenomenal. They showed a lightning. It was just one of these video cameras that was filming a general area of a bunch of houses. And it showed a lightning hit. Wham! Right in the middle of the area, of the viewing area. And the second that hit, you saw two things shortly thereafter, if you go frame by frame. Once it hit, on the left side, there was a porch light, went out instantly. It was an LED light, boom, went out. On the other side, something, I don't know what, might have been a pump or something, let out the magic smoke out of the ground. So it was coolest thing because you saw the lightning hit, and then and at the same time you saw that thing, and a few seconds later you saw this puff of smoke just and nowhere near where the lightning was. So it was, obviously near, but
it
not
traveled.
Yeah, it didn't travel. It was the pulse itself and that's what happens.
Well, I know that because I was sitting on my neighbor's porch one day during a rainstorm, and I was trying to wait the rain out so I could run back to my house.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden, the biggest, loudest lightning bolt hit
Yep.
one of his pine trees.
Oh,
He had three of them in the yard,
right.
and it hit the one. And I'm telling you what, that was the loudest explosion I think I've ever been around.
Oh yeah.
And it traveled underground, and it took out the one it hit,
Yep.
and it took out the one that was 5-10 feet away from it.
Yeah.
Took it out just from killing it, and
Yep.
it didn't, knock them down or break them off or anything,
Yeah.
but you knew that sucker was dead.
Oh yeah.
And when they hit that other one, I told him, "I'm going to cut all of them down because
I mean, basically what happens. Basically what
Wow.
happens. For those of you who are not familiar with lightning, lightning does not travel down; it actually
Yeah.
travels up. So it's actually going up from there's a negative charge
Mm-hmm.
in the clouds, and basically the difference between the negative charge up there and the positive charge of the Earth, or the neutral charge of the Earth, if you want to call it that. But
Ground, yeah.
there are more positive ions in the Earth than there are in the clouds at that point. Basically, the difference in potential of about, it could be upwards of 1,000,000 volts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a split second, but 1,000,000 volts turning on and off. We're talking one wave. It's not like electricity where
Right.
where it's a sine wave. This is one wave.
One wave.
Up and then down. And traveling that fast, that big, that quickly, that causes one hell of a pulse.
I have never been so scared in my life as when that happened.
Out. And the thing is, you're fine if you don't get hit.
Yeah.
Now remember, this thing does two things. Number one, when it comes off the ground, it's dissipating. It's not just the one point is pulling the bulk of that energy, but it's coming from all around. It's changing at the same time. So if you're near there, you stand a chance to get somewhat shocked.
Yes.
If you're wearing sneakers, then it is a possibility. But remember, if it traveled, God knows how many miles, or hundreds of feet or thousands of feet.
Yeah.
That last little 2 or 3 feet, if that last little from the ground to your ankle, and it'll bypass your shoe, that's nothing. But that's the electrical part of it. Then comes the electromagnetic pulse. Not going to harm you at all. You don't have to worry about that unless, okay, maybe you got a phone in your pocket and that thing will just burst the thing into flames, or you got a watch and that'll, anything with a coiled wire in it. That's why speakers, if you have those regular any kind of speakers, if you're anywhere near, even the speakers inside a house, if you get a lightning strike on your property, every single speaker becomes a generator.
Yeah.
It makes you normally pump power into your speaker to create magnetic waves to create speaker sound. This thing is an instant magnetic wave entering your speaker. Acts like a microphone, but a very powerful microphone, and those wires basically will blow the tops off, and I've seen it blow the tops off the finals. The for those of you into electronics, the chips, the amplifying chips on the at the end of the line just before the speaker. One of those, and then and not to mention it'll travel the shortest path, not the shortest, the least conductive path, and sometimes many paths to ground, because you got a lot of power.
Yeah. I'll never want to do it again, I'll tell you that. I never want to see another one like that in my lifetime.
No.
I was probably at the most 30 to 40 feet away from it when it hit.
Yep.
And that was too close.
I've been that close to once or twice. My brother got the first foreman and I talk about him every now and then. The first foreman that I had when I worked for my father in construction, his name's Rafael. He looked like the guy from a Cuban version with big, thick glasses of the guy from Platoon,
Huh.
the drill sergeant. He had the same shaved haircut, tall, thin, but taller than the guy. The guy from Platoon, short. This guy was like, he's 6'6". That was our Cuban old-time foreman. Imagine what an old-time Irish priest is to Ireland. This was foreman to Cuban. That's how he was. You know, he's at that old hard work ethic and stuff. This guy not only worked for my dad in managing the others, but he worked. You know, it's that old work ethic. Right. You don't order people around, you do the work yourself. My brother was working with him at the time at one of these projects, one of my dad's projects. And my brother was probably 30 or 40 feet away from Rafael. Rafael got a lightning strike. Well, he was put in the hospital, and luckily he didn't get it wasn't, obviously, didn't hit him directly, but it was so close to him that some of the residual effects, it knocked him out.
Yeah.
It knocked my brother easily about 5-6 feet.
Wow.
So, I mean, this thing was just incredible. Third year using the Butterball oil-free turkey fryer. It works great with no mess. I got to give that one a shot. But when I go back to turkey,
this might be a while.
Another 10 years or so, whatever.
Don't expect a review.
Yeah. And Christmas is another one. That's another one that I refuse to. I buck tradition on that one, because tradition in my family, for years, we roast the pig on Christmas. Always, you know. I'm tired. The pulled pork, I've had it up to here. I mean, they'll roast it. Yeah, it's great. And I'll probably end up doing something like that for the new house, because I just want to build I want to build the spit and all this other stuff, and just to say that I did one, you know, because it seems to be like a tradition. And I never did it here at this house. My dad, he always, either roasted a pig or he just had one, one of his employees or one of his fellow vendors. One time we went to a farm. Oh my God, I'll never forget that experience as long as I live. We went to the farm because his client, he had a farm down in Homestead. I mean, I don't know how many acres, but we went there. We did a little bit of hunting beforehand, and then we went to the main area. And the guy asked my dad, "You want to watch him kill the pig?" And he goes, "Yeah, sure, why not?" Everybody was gathered around. Now I'm like, I was 13 years old.
Not into it, huh?
No, I'd never seen. I'd never seen the slaughtering of a pig before.
Mm-hmm.
It's no big deal. The action didn't send shivers down my spine or anything like that. That wasn't. It was the sound.
Mm-hmm.
It was the sound. I don't mind it all. For all you PETA fans, I'm sorry, but I don't mind. Hey, it's food. It has to be killed in the most humane way, and this guy knew how to kill it. He had the sharpest knife, the jugular. That thing leaked out in seconds, and what you heard was squeal, squeal, gurgle, gurgle, gurgle. It was like a loud squeal and gurgle that I will never, ever forget that sound. If I had earplugs on, it wouldn't have mattered to me, but that sound was well, that's not the reason I don't like pig. I ate pig years after that. That's not it at all. I just got tired of it. But so anyway, we had a great time here, but again, they slaughtered 2 or 3, and some of them were for clients. They had a whole pig farm, and they were so it was constantly being done. But when they did ours, it was just really, You know, when you hear the song in the background, sound in the background, no big deal. But when you see it, and I was like 10 feet away from this pig getting slaughtered. You know, it easily 10 feet away. It was before I get to that wall. Yeah, I was very close. So anyway, they cooked it. It was no, well, they dropped it in the boiling water. You know, basically boiled all the blood out of it and stuff, and then they hung it up, and the guy was just scraping, just with a plastic stick. He scraped all the hair off. It was came off like that. It was fantastic. You know, super clean. I mean, this thing was like spotless. Well, you know, except for a gash in his neck. But so then he split it open, he gutted it, and he put it on the pan.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, you know, and then we went out for a little bit, a little more, not hunting or whatever, but while it was cooking, and let me tell you, that thing was. I'm a big fan of pork rinds, so I grabbed
me too.
Piece of skin that it was delicious. It was delicious, and I still love pork rinds.
Me too. My wife can't stand them.
Yeah, have a good one, Glenn. Yeah, been there. So anyway, so that's an interesting experience for me, and it's just I've had roasted pig too many times. You know, and I'd rather have a pizza.
I don't think that tradition is going to fly.
I'd rather have a good juicy steak.
Yeah, I could go for that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I end up, you know, so Thanksgiving comes around. Again, my wife and I decide, oh, what do we want for Thanksgiving? I don't know. What do we got? You know, and then, so I'll end up doing a steak or something like that. Good stuff, you know, and then we throw in the salad, and we throw in the sauces and the jellies and all that other stuff just for the, you know.
Oh yeah.
People like lamb and mint jelly.
I'm not gonna go there.
I'm not a fan of mint jelly.
Nah, can't go it.
Give me meat and potatoes, man. Give me meat and potatoes. Mint. I like mint chocolate chip ice cream is what
That's what I like.
All right.
There we go.
You give me the mint chocolate chip ice cream for dessert, I'm happy. That's enough mint for me. I don't need the jelly. I don't need breath freshener when I'm eating lamb.
Mint chocolate chip would be good for me as well.
Yeah. I got some Snickers in the thing. Just had some today. It was my daughter and my wife and I just had one of those arguments, not an argument, discussion, where when they came home, okay, here's how it went. You're gonna love this.
You're gonna lose anyway. You know that, right?
Oh, I know. Well, I lost the second they came in the door. So, my mom, my mom taught me how to eat ice cream. My mom taught me how to eat pie. My mom, you know, but not just that. These things are inherent in you. I mean, I don't. Nobody needs to teach you how or what. Well, obviously, it's your own taste because my mom taught me how to eat a lot of things that I can't stand eating. So, so my wife buys me. I told her she bought me the other day. I like Snickers, so I was running out of Snickers ice cream, and I try to not go crazy with it and apportion myself. So I have a full thing of ice cream from yesterday, and then my wife and my daughter go to the Publix and they pick up a half gallon of ice cream, like I asked for, vanilla. And so my daughter sees the vanilla after they get home. They go, Why are you getting bad vanilla? He's got, after she opens the freezer, he's got a whole Snickers here. Why are you giving him vanilla? And I tried to explain to her in the best way I possibly could, but she won't have, this was the next conversation. Apple pie does not go with Snickers ice cream. It only goes with, unless you like chocolate, it goes with vanilla.
Yeah, yes.
Apple pie and vanilla Breyers ice cream. That's it. And then both my wife and my daughter look at each other and just shake their heads as if I'm completely wrong. I'm sorry, but on this point, I'm not conceding.
You're not wrong.
I'm Trump on this point. There's no way. I'm trumping it. No way. It's vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Yeah.
Vanilla ice cream and apple pie. Pumpkin pie.
No.
That just doesn't work.
No.
Pecan pie.
Pecan, and we call it pecan
pie. That's another good vanilla choice.
Mm-hmm.
Vanilla and pecan pie. Blueberry.
Yeah.
Blueberry pie. Cherry. Something with a flaky crust,
We'll put it on apple.
Cheesecake does not go. Cheesecake, no ice cream and cheesecake. No key lime pie and cheesecake.
No.
Anything that's a pie with a filling kind of thing and no crust. No. That doesn't go with.
No, sure, you're right.
It's got to be a fruity filling, flaky crust pie with vanilla.
With vanilla,
it's a must.
And we would have Bluebell. Is what we'd be using. Bluebell.
Dennis has a pork rind factory on his FedEx route. They're made with skin pellets. Pretty clean operation for what I can say. That's cool. Yeah. I got to tell you, I mean, I like at Santa's Enchanted Forest, they have the Cuban joints that sell all the Cuban stuff, but they also, and oddly enough, they also sell arepas, which arepas are Colombian, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know how they can call them Cuban, but they don't call anything Cuban. I guess they're like Americans. They just take all the other country's stuff and call it their own.
Yeah.
But that's what we Cubans do, I guess. Anyway. And by the way, they're not true arepas, because arepas are not meant to be frozen and then just they come in frozen boxes, and all they got to do is put it on the pan, flip it both sides. Hey, that gives me an idea. Let me see something here.
Uh-oh. So I'm gonna have to call it a night, fellas.
Yeah, I'm pretty much. Well, let me finish the story. So basically, what happens is, oh, good, they do sell them. Oh, I'm gonna get these. Okay, so what happens is, I'm complaining about them, but I'm gonna buy them because I'm too lazy to make real ones. So what happens? They make pork rinds there. They actually have true pork rinds. They have the because they sell pork there as well. They fry them stuff. The problem with that place is if you don't catch it when the oil is I'll get to your question in a second, Marcello. If you don't catch it when the oil is fresh, oh my God, that stuff just, the oil goes bad so quickly, and it tastes nasty.
It's a little rancid.
See, in that case, I prefer the bagged ones, and I still like the bagged ones. But if you get a good, crispy, well cooked, real pork rind, oh, they're delicious.
Yeah, I go for it.
If there's a way in Mach 3 when running a simulation, is there a setting to stop when it reads M00? When it reads an M00, the person to ask is possibly, Juan Garza, but I don't know where he's been hanging out lately.
Juan
Lopez. Yeah. And possibly Mark might know. What I would tell you is look in the code for an M00 and enter I forgot what. Look it up. There's a command that will prompt for input.
Yeah.
And then to continue, and then that way you could do it that way. And so I can't tell you one way or another, Marcello. I'm sorry, I don't. I have no clue. So anyway, I will catch you later, and thank you all for dropping in on this wonderful session. And from all of us here at, we wish you a very, very happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. From all of us here in the hangout and on. And so have a good night, everyone, and hopefully see you Friday. If not, I'll see you Saturday for the wonderful giveaway show. And good night.
Good night, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving.
And away.